December 20th, 2019.
This is Nerd Bourbon episode 133. I'm Seth Sturgill.
And I'm Todd Sturgill.
Now, Todd, do we want to tell the folks at home the horrible thing you just said to me? I'm sitting here minding my own business, adjusting, you gotta get that perfect sound quality, that crystal clear audio quality to deliver quality content to our listeners. You know what it's like. We just want to deliver quality content to the folks at home. But so I'm telling Todd, I'm like, hey, keep talking. I'm adjusting my levels and everything. Just say whatever. And you said something to me that was a cursed sentence. And now I want everybody to suffer. Will you repeat what you said?
I will not.
Then I will do it. Like an unholy incantation.
No, before you say this, I've said worse things.
I don't know. You've certainly said more vulgar things. But he goes, I want to suck on your tummy. And you know what? It's one of those things where it's like that to most people that probably wouldn't sound that gross. But that's probably really it's more like thought crime. You understand what I'm saying? You're a thought criminal. That's the sort of thing that I don't want entering my head. And you placed it there with that sentence.
You're welcome.
It was awful. This is a video game podcast, though, Todd. And as such, there's much to talk about. We have a lot to cover this week on the show. I want to reiterate that this is also going to be the episode of the show in which we partake in the second annual Nerd Bourbon Holiday Exchange, where Todd and we got each other some gifts, some Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And we will open them together at the end of the show. But first, as tradition dictates, Todd, what have you been playing?
Cue the music.
Son of a bitch.
You already knew this was going to be a two-parter. Last we left off in Monster Hunter, it was the recon assignment for Safi Jiva. Now the full siege has come. And I have completed it multiple
This Monster
times.
Hunter talk makes me a little fucking Safi Jiva. You understand?
I get it. So it has come. I have completed it multiple times. I have made the full Safi Jiva set. I have made multiple weapons, leveled multiple weapons, awakened multiple weapons, living this new meta life. And where to begin with Safi Jiva? The Safi Jiva raid or siege, whatever you want to call it, is essentially, it is worlds better than what we got with Call of Taroth.
When you say that, do you just mean like the fight itself, the structure of it?
Everything. Just anything, every aspect that you can fucking think about. Rewards, anything, is better. Because, one, I think the fight is just way better. Because, I don't know, Culve was just boring to me. The flow of Culve was boring to me. Because, so with Culve versus Safi, like Culve, the deal was you would continuously break parts. Obviously, you'd break the parts, boom, 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 and then as you continued on through like multiple attempts, it would be easier to get through the siege. Mm-hmm. It's similar in a way to Safi Jiva, but with Safi Jiva, what makes it easier is obviously doing all that, right? Breaking the parts, and also just getting Safi through each level. There's 3 levels of the arena. And those 3 levels have health bars, essentially. Energy health bars. So, at the easiest point, the easiest run you'll have is a run where obviously all 3 of those levels are depleted. So you just basically, you're going to be in maybe, you'll probably be in the siege for maybe 10 minutes at the most, honestly, at one of those. You'll be in there for the full 20 or just around
Mm-hmm.
or like when you first start doing the siege.
Mm.
That's another thing. It's way faster. Like 20 minutes versus I think like Culve was. I'm trying to remember if Culve was 20 minutes. I don't remember because like now it's like I'm so brain dead to Culve because I just don't give a shit. That's my other thing. I never really gave a shit about Culve like that because I thought the Culve weapons were kind of like lame in my mind. But with these, I think these are like way better because of the way the new weapon system is with the awakening system. So I'm gonna get that's actually the most interesting aspect of the Safi Jiva siege is you get these. So every single weapon type, there's like the charge blades, the switch axes, the great swords, the dual blades. There's no element. They all have elements. It's all because that's the one thing in Iceborne they really wanted to push is because I don't know if you remember this, but the big meta before Iceborne was elementless builds,
Right.
like doing elementless boost and all that. That's Iceborne. They were really pushing using the elements and like the abnormal status effects. So that's essentially what you get. You have basically a type for You have a poison weapon, an ice weapon, a fire weapon. Name every element or status in the game. There's a weapon variant of it. Now the way they get around with because Culve essentially gave reskins of already existing weapons in a way.
Okay.
Just gold versions of it in a weird way. Now, which is cool and all, but I just thought it was lame. But with this and the awakening system so my go-to is the Safi Venom Shield. It's the poison charge blade, and with that, I've gone in and leveled it up and awakened it with different abilities. Like I have brought my attack up, I think 3 times. Might be twice actually. I think I actually rearranged it recently. So I actually I've put sharpness and multiple things of attack, status effect up, and it's just you're making the weapon your own. Like you want a shit ton of sharpness, put sharpness in that bitch. Have like a fucking whole thing of purple or some stupid shit, which is the new sharpness with Iceborne. But the way I have it set up is the way I like it. It's like it got a decent attack. I have leveled up my status. I actually have purple sharpness. I normally don't care about that because it's just like half the weapons I use, it's too much of a pain in the ass to get that purple sharpness. But with these, you can play around with it, still make it a really solid weapon, like with the raw damage, and still get that purple. Like what they did, these weapons are honestly, from what I can tell, they're gonna be the meta for a while. I mean, obviously, like I think that was Capcom's goal, is to make these weapons like the meta for a while. Because
So you think you're reasonably future proof?
reasonably. And the thing is, you can do more. I can definitely go in there if I wanted more. That's the thing. I can continuously do the siege like when it comes around periodically. If I wanted to like redo my weapon, yeah, I could do it. I could like completely redo it if I wanted. I wanted to like switch out the attack for like more sharpness or more status effect. Like as I'm like kind of like using the weapon, I can kind of figure out where I want it to go. I'm happy with it right now. Like I'm really happy with it. And that's the other thing I need to talk about. That's the gist of the whole weapon system. Like you awaken it. So how you awaken it is you get there's one of the materials you get from completing the siege. It's called like Dracolite, and there's like different tiers of Dracolite. It's essentially works like armor spheres. I don't know if you remember the armor spheres when you were playing the game.
Yes.
So there's multiple tiers of armor spheres.
Right.
So that's how the Dracolite works. It's just the higher tier gives you more points for the potential for a manifestation of an ability. That's essentially the gist of the weapon system. I do want to talk about the armor, the Safi Jiva armor set, which has a 3-set bonus, and then the full, like you wear the full set and whatever. The most interesting thing about this weapon, about the armor to me, is you actually, because of it, you damage yourself. I think I've told you about that a little bit off recording.
Yeah.
So, essentially, when you do 40 damage to yourself, 40 to 60, some shit like that, you do like 40 to 60 damage to yourself, and if you are continuously hitting your opponent with your weapon, has to be a blade attack, because I'm going to get into that. because of the charge blade. When you do the blade attacks, you will end up actually gaining. It's always a plus. It's always a profit. You always it's always worth doing this because you get like an extra 25 health. Always. Like, you'll continuously, like, even if like you miss a hit like earlier on, as you keep going, you'll end up with full health, no matter what. It's just, there's a lot of high risk, high reward. Like, it's one of those things. Like, there was one time where like I fucked up, I got hit, and I'm like, I think one more hit would give me that heal. And yeah, so there's a lot of high risk, high reward with this armor, because not only does it heal you, it also gives you a static 40% affinity, and that's for like doing like critical hits. Like it's like 80%. Basically, 80% of the time I'm gonna be doing critical hits. That's me personally. I could probably get that to a full 100 if I like rearrange my build. And then the other thing is it boosts your affinity, boosts your poison or elemental damage to like I think by 80 or some shit like that. It's like some stupid ass number. And then I think it boosts your defense, just attack in general, and that's with the 5 set. The 3 set is basically like cut that in like kind of like half. Like I think instead of 40, I think you get like 20% affinity. But it's still interesting because even with the 3 set bonus, that really opens up a lot of like mixed set stuff. Because that's actually another thing I glossed over with the weapons, is you can actually get set bonus abilities on your weapon.
Some nerdy ass shit, bro.
I know, I'm sorry. I know. But it's so cool, dude. Because I don't know if you realize this. The thing with the set bonus shit is because of that, you can have... So if like one of the set bonuses is Tigrex, so you get free meal secret. So that's 3 pieces, right? So if you get Tigrex's essence on your weapon, you only need to use 2 armor pieces instead of all 3.
I see.
That's cool, bro. That's cool as shit.
Just the shit, and then the 80% and the.
I know. It's hard not to get into the min max aspect.
There's the nitty gritty nerdy.
The nitty gritty and mini. Yeah, I do apologize, but it's like that's what this raid, that's what the siege did to me. Like I'm sitting there looking at all the
fucking
it's
angry turbo nerd.
Oh, it's bad. I love. I honestly, I've been having a lot of fun replaying Iceborne, and playing it again and shit.
I definitely. As I was listening to you just break down all these numbers and percentages, I'm like, sweet Jesus.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
I'm just like, bro. I feel like I could just let you go on, and like 30 minutes later, you'd still be in.
No, that's the thing. This is the time that it's smart to just call it, because I can honestly keep going.
Time of death.
Time of death. 13 minutes in type shit. I'm trying to think of like what else I've been playing.
Ball busting aside, though, it's nice that the game has gotten you back into it.
You don't want to know my hour count now.
All right, how close are we to 1,000 at this point?
It's not good.
It's got to be close.
I honestly, the way I'm playing it now, I could see myself hitting 1,000 by the end of the year.
Jesus Christ. That's so bad. Although I will say, Nintendo has this thing where you can have like your year-end review shit.
Oof, I don't want that. I don't know if you want to see that.
Well, for me, so I played 57 games on my Switch this year, apparently. I don't know how that's possible.
Did you really?
That's what it says. And then it says that I've spent 507 hours on my Switch in 2019. You got to keep in mind, 70 plus of that is just Pokemon Sword, so...
Yeah.
Like, between Pokemon Sword and Mario Maker, that's like half of that. So... What else, though? What else has been going on? What else has been going on in your world?
I don't know, man. My brain dead, state with, just going from, work back home.
Real quick, I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but do you want to talk about that new Apex update real quick?
Oh, I mean, yeah. There you go. I totally forgot I played that, actually, with Anastasia.
Yeah, because, obviously, I don't really play Apex, but I was kind of curious to hear you talk about it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I jumped on there and I I was shown the new game mode, which is like that train heist or some shit, or
Right.
capture the train essentially. And that's a pretty cool little game mode.
Yeah, so that was announced like kind of in shadow dropped like at the Game Awards, which we're going to talk about the Game Awards later in the show.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty fun like little game mode. It's essentially like each of the legends have a loadout. Like you don't get to. It's everyone has their weapon set up.
Right.
So pick somebody you like. So I still went with Octane. He had a weapon I liked, so I didn't give a shit. And yeah, you go to the train. It's like last squad, like basically living on the train wins the round. It's a round based, and so when you are the last squad left, you actually don't drop in. You stay on the train,
Okay.
which I thought was interesting. Well, we only saw that once because I'm gonna be honest, we got our asses whooped.
So it's like a moving King of the Hill, basically.
Yeah, essentially, that's essentially what it is.
I like it.
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and then obviously we did a couple actual rounds. Anastasia was really wanting to like start that party for like a challenge, like the whole the Mirage shit.
Right.
Like to the point where she was looking for the button because we actually got on the ship, I guess, this gold plated like party ship, and I'm sitting there. She's like trying to find the button to press it. I'm standing by it. I'm like, this is it right here. She's like, don't press it. She's like, don't press it. I was like, okay.
Getting violent with you and shit.
No, it wasn't like that, but I was like, it's whatever. But then a part of me wishes I did because starting the party apparently gives you that Nutcracker G7 skin.
Yeah, that's what she was telling me about. She was trying to unlock all that shit.
Yeah,
She ended up unlocking some shit.
no, she got it. I helped her.
Yeah.
I'll say this: if I knew about that skin, I would have pressed that shit.
Yeah, I was watching her play a little bit. It looked. I'll say this: I like the sights and the sounds of the new update. I like how Christmassy it all is.
Here's the thing: as much as I don't care for Christmas music, I love the Christmassy music in Apex.
It was pretty cool.
Like I was sitting there, like it was one of the first things I kind of thought to myself as I got into the game because I don't play it as often as Anastasia does, but like I'll jump on there like when an update hits, and I'm like sitting there in the main menu. I'm like, why? I'm like kind of thinking to myself, like, damn, this music's kind of going hard right now.
Here's the thing you all need to understand about my wife. She only plays like 5 or 6 games, but the games that she does play, she's very hardcore about.
Oh yeah,
And Apex is one of them. So
yep.
So yeah, I was watching her play a little bit. I was enjoying what I was seeing. It seemed like it was a pretty neat little holiday event. I love a good holiday event, Todd.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, we played a couple rounds, got a win, and then called it.
That's pretty much what you have to do in that.
Oh
game.
no, it's like as soon as we were like kind of like right there. It was like one of those things where like I kind of knew we were gonna win. I was like, when we win this shit, I'm jumping off.
Once you like cross that threshold, you're like, all right.
Yeah, it's like I'm just ending on a high note.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's really it. Shit, you got to remind me that I played that. I'm fucking completely zoned that out.
To be honest, man, I mean, you know this. It's all been Pokemon. But I will say that as of today, I'm right there.
I know. Oh, yeah, I'll probably have to help you out. At the time of this recording, I'll probably help you with that last thing.
Just need you to hop on one last time with me for one last trade, because here's the deal. It was funny because you were telling me for a long time that I should just do this, but I wanted to do it in a more natural way.
Dude, you know how much I was telling you for so long. Just go on Reddit, bro. Just do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to complete my Pokedex, right? And I got to the point where I had done literally everything I could do. The only things I were missing were the Shield exclusive Pokemon. And Lord knows Todd ain't about to fucking get those.
Especially with how dog shit it was probably going to be for me, and I don't have the patience.
There would be some of them that would definitely... There's probably a few that you realistically could have, but there are definitely some where it's like, yeah, no, there's no way Todd's going to do this.
You realized how much I sped run that game when I jumped into the wild area to help you with something.
Yeah, I have like 200 watts. I'm like, Jesus. Oh, fuck. So yeah, I've just played a lot of the game. I really, really, really like that game. Like Pokemon Sword is really fun. I love it. But I'm sitting here. I've done everything I can. All I need now are the Shield Pokemon, and I'm trying so hard to do it like a natural way. I don't want to consult Reddit and like open myself up to strangers.
Yeah. Be vulnerable. No.
I had a buddy who has Shield, and he was gonna help me out, but he's like busy. He like runs his own business and has children and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And me, I'm just like sweaty fucking nerd. I'm like, Pokemon. You know?
You got them Pokemon yet?
Yeah, I'm like scratching my neck. I'm like, anybody got them Pokemon? Because at a certain point, it's like I'm literally like 20 away from having my complete Pokedex.
You can fucking taste it. It's like. I feel like it's worse at that point, though, isn't it? Like
it
is.
is.
It's like what the.
I just want
You're
to.
jonesing.
I'm sitting there. I just want to complete this Pokedex and move on with my goddamn life. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I just want to go and play other games now. I want to go play Luigi's Mansion. I want to play The Outer Worlds. Something. Anything else. Like, I'm loving the game, don't get me wrong, but fuck. I've spent like 80 hours with it at this point. So anyway, this morning I woke up a little bit earlier than I wanted to, and I had a little bit of extra time before I had to go to work. And I said, you know what? God damn it. Todd's right. Let me just put the feelers out and go on Reddit and see what happens. And I made a post on the Reddit community thread for Pokemon trades. And I got really lucky because there's a guy on there who was like, hey man, like all the Pokemon you need, I have, and all the Pokemon I need, you have. Like, let's help each other out, basically. So basically in like one go, I essentially completed my Pokedex.
There you go.
Just from one dude.
Go.
So literally the only thing I have left, there's one Pokemon that has an evolution from trading while it's holding a certain item. But after I do that, I'm at 399 right now. After I do that, it will be done.
You'll be fucking hilarious.
What?
You trade it to me and I just
tell
you to go fuck yourself.
That strategy would only work for so long. I'll see you in person in less than a month, bitch. PAX South is fast approaching.
I know, it's so fucking crazy.
PAX South, more like Fast South.
Oh, Lord. Dude, what happened to this fucking year, bro?
It's crazy, man.
I feel like I just blinked and it's like fucking almost 2020. It's like, what the shit?
Yeah. That's actually a good opportunity, a good segue to talk about. So next week's show is going to be, as we like to do, kind of our end of the year discussions. Mm-hmm. We like to kind of like put together a list of our favorite games of the year. Look forward to next year. We're gonna do a similar thing to what we did last year with our most anticipated of 2020. So look forward to that next week on the show. We are going to have a Rise of Skywalker shots worked in at some point in there. We are going to, of course, continue to do the Mandalorian shots. As that show wraps up towards the end of the year. Everything's kind of wrapping up, Todd. We're putting a bow on a lot of things. So, and then I would like to, I'm not going to make any promises, but I would like to get at least another episode of Waterdeep done before the year is out. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Either way, I want to play Waterdeep soon. And then when we go away for PAX, so sometime in mid-January, I don't know the exact date, we're going to have an Evergreen episode for that as well, so that we don't miss a week. And we don't have it locked down for what we're going to do for that episode yet, but what I had an idea that I ran by you that I think might be a good one to go with. So we'll see. We'll talk about that more as it gets closer. But yeah, with all of that out of the way, Todd, are you ready for some news?
Yeah.
Some news?
Yeah.
So I've got one little tidbit here. It's been kind of a light news week, of course. The Game Awards happened, so a lot of news dropped there, and as a result, not much has happened since. There's been some minor stuff in the news. They did announce some Luigi's Mansion 3 multiplayer DLC, but not really super worthy of popping into my news drop, you know what I mean? However, this was worthy because one of our favorite games, The Outer Worlds, the space RPG from Obsidian, looks like it's going to be receiving some DLC support next year. So we got this announcement via the Obsidian forums, where the development team made a post titled, quote, "A special thank you from Obsidian," where they said, quote, "The journey isn't over yet, as we are excited to announce that we will be expanding the story through DLC next year," end quote.
fucking go.
You ready?
Let's fucking go.
Wait, you got any thoughts, any predictions?
The fucking 4 planets that are unlocked.
Seems like that's what they're going to do, right?
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Seems like they're just like,
Because I forget, it's like you got fucking Hephaestus, Triton,
right?
some shit. I don't remember the other 2, but those are the main ones.
But yeah, there's like 4 locations that are visible on the map that they just never unlock.
Yeah, it's one of those moments I'm like, I'm just sitting there as I'm playing. I'm like, when am I going to go to Hephaestus?
Yeah, I sort of knew early on that they weren't going to unlock it all, because I was actually kind of surprised when I loaded up the map for the first time, and I was like, oh wow, this game's actually bigger than I expected. But then I was like, oh wait, no, it's not.
It's still decent size.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's not, but it definitely is not like, it definitely has its fair share of portioned off planets.
Yeah.
That seem ripe for DLC. So, we don't know literally anything about what their plans are. But of course, whenever that does come out next year, Todd, we will be eagerly salivating at the mouth for it.
Of course.
More Outer Worlds is always a good thing. By the way, speaking of packs, I sent out pins to a lot of friends and family and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They've been very well received. Everybody seems to love them as much as I do. Yourself included. You finally got to lay your eyes and hands on them.
Oh, yeah.
For the first time. Pins are rocking. By the way, if you are going to be at PAX South and you're a Nerd Bourbon fan, drop me a line. I will make sure you get one at the show. We're going to be there, and I will have copious amounts of pins. So, hit me up.
Pins for days.
Pins for days. So yeah, hit me up. If you want a pin, you're going to be at PAX South. I will be happy to deliver you a free Nerd Bourbon pin, a beautiful gold-plated hard enamel pin with our glorious logo emblazoned upon it. So, it's very pretty. It's a very pretty pin. Todd, are you happy with the quality of the pin?
Oh, I love it. Instantly went on my bag.
So, yeah. Gonna have a bunch of those. Todd, would you like to know some NPD data?
Yeah.
Some juicy NPD data. We have to absorb all of its nutrients here on the show. So the NPD data for the month of November has been revealed, and I've got for you, Todd, the top 10 best-selling games of November. They were in order. Number 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Surprise, surprise. Number 2, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Pokemon Sword. Number 4, Pokemon Sword and Shield Double Pack. Number 5, Pokemon Shield.
Damn, more people bought the fucking double pack, huh?
More people bought the double pack than they did just Shield on its own, yeah, which is interesting. Number 6, Madden NFL 20. Number 7, Death Stranding. Number 8, NBA 2K20. Number 9, Need for Speed Heat. Number 10, Luigi's Mansion 3. So, worth noting, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order achieved the second highest launch month dollar sales for any Star Wars game, second only to 2015 Star Wars Battlefront. The game also represents the highest launch month dollar sales for any Respawn game to date. So that game did really well, and deservedly so. The best-selling game of the month of November was again the Nintendo Switch, just as it has been every month of 2019 thus far, continuing to dominate. It's also worth noting that Nintendo does not track digital sales when reporting to the NPD, so it's entirely possible that Pokemon could have placed even higher if you had accounted for the digital sales of the games, because this is all just physical shit. So, interesting. And I think they even were saying, I was reading some crazy statistics about Pokemon where I think just in the launch weekend it moved to like 6 million units or something like that.
Damn.
It's like the best-selling game in the series so far, I believe. Like, crazy stats like that. So, yeah, Pokemon did really, really well, and so did Fallen Order, which is good to hear. It's interesting to me to see Death Stranding at number 7. I'm kind of curious about that. I mean, the game, of course, sold appreciably for it to enter the top 10. But I'm a little surprised that it didn't do better. I don't know. I thought there was a lot of hype around Death Stranding.
Where did you think it would land?
I just sort of thought it was going to land a little closer to the top than 7. I mean, Pokemon Sword and Shield are a little bit of an anomaly because like Sword, Double Pack, and Shield, that's 3 spots right there.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I probably would have assumed that it was going to do better than Fallen Order. I don't know. I just felt like there was more hype behind Death Stranding than there was Fallen Order. But maybe it's a case of like the sort of like vocal minority.
Yeah, maybe.
Like the Kojima fans are really beating their chest about Death Stranding, so I don't know, maybe that's the case. So with that in mind, Todd, the best-selling games of 2019 so far are in order. Number 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Number 2, NBA 2K20. Number 3, Madden NFL 20.
The Holy Trinity.
Yeah, exactly. Number 4, Borderlands 3. Number 5, Mortal Kombat 11. Number 6, Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm still hanging in there, dude. Number 7, Tom Clancy's The Division 2. Number 8, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 9, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Nice.
Number 10, Anthem. Still hanging in there. I can't really imagine what would push Anthem off of the top 10 releasing in December. I can't really think of anything unless there's like some sort of thing that gets like a massive sales bump in December.
Yeah.
Don't really know what's going to push Anthem out of the top 10. We'll see. It'd be interesting to see Anthem finish the year in the top 10. That would be shocking. But it is cool that Fallen Order has instantly moved into the top 10 best-selling games of the year. So, yeah. I mean, the game sold really well. Respawn's having an amazing year. Between that and Apex, dude, you got to wonder what's next for Respawn. I was actually just reading today that it seems like they're actually kind of staffing up to gear up for the Fallen Order sequel. Oh, so they're already hiring for their next Star Wars project. I think the job listing just specifically was just like Star Wars project, but you have to assume it's Fallen Order 2.
Oh, come on. They can just go ahead and just fucking say Fallen Order 2 at this point.
Yeah, you have to assume they're not going to have Respawn working on anything else Star Wars related but another Fallen Order game.
Mm-hmm.
Game is, of course, wide open. So, and honestly, it was one of those games where I was like, God, a better, more refined sequel of this would be so perfect because that game's already really good.
Mm-hmm. So they take what they learned from that one and make a better game.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think congratulations are definitely in order to the folks at Respawn for a great launch for Fallen Order. So, congrats. Definitely looking forward to talking about that more next week on the show as we talk about our favorite games of the year, because surely that game is going to come up. Moving on, our last bit of news here is the big one. Let's talk about the Game Awards.
Was it the big one? No, I'm just...
Yeah, but I was just about to say, you stayed up a little bit to watch this. We didn't watch it together, but I remember you stayed up a little bit, and you were sort of disappointed, right?
Holy shit. Do you know... I think I told Anastasia when I called it. I called it around Green Day.
Green Day was the
final nail in the coffin. I was like, fuck this shit.
You're like, wake me up when September ends.
Fucking hell, dude. It's like I looked at the time. I'm like, yeah, fuck this. I gotta wake up soon.
Anastasia was making jokes. She's like, we're not even halfway done. We're going on for 4 more hours. Because, dude, I was watching it at my parents' house as I was doing laundry. So I was watching it on my phone, just minding my own business.
Yeah.
And just watching on YouTube or whatever. And my dad was like, oh, throw it up on the TV. Like, yeah, let's all watch it, blah, blah, blah. My dad was, trying to be a cool father and just, like, be interested in what I'm interested in.
He made a terrible mistake.
They made a horrible mistake. Because we put the Game Awards on the TV, and it became so obvious that I was the only one that gave a fuck about anything that was happening.
So I tried to give a fuck. Like it was like the world premieres and stuff. Like that was what I was there for. But it was like, ugh.
Every now and then, my parents would see a game. They're like, "Oh, that looks pretty cool," or my mom would comment about like how crazy graphics are now, stuff like that. But yeah, it's so funny. Like it was treated like it was some kind of big. Yeah, every now and then there would be like, oh, Green Day. Oh, wow, that's cool. Oh, Norman Reedus is there. That's interesting. But by and large, they're like, what the fuck is this? And why is it going on for so goddamn long?
It's so fucking long, dude.
I thought it was going to be maybe like an hour and a half. I don't remember the Game Awards ever being this long.
Dude, how fucking long was it, bro? Because like, what time did it start?
Dude, I feel like it was at least 3 hours long.
Dude, it was at the very least 3 hours because I think it started at like 7:30.
Yeah.
Or some shit, dude. I think I jumped off around. I was like, I was like, fuck this around like 10 something.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like it was a weird year, man. But I will say this, like, for all the like kind of like complaints and stuff like that, I think Jeff Keighley tweeted out earlier today that it was like the best Game Awards in terms of like viewership. I think it's like a 73% increase in viewership.
Oh wow.
So, hey, more power to him. Though, you know, Game Awards is going nowhere, that's for sure. So, we'll definitely see more. But of course, as is the case with every Game Awards, there are a lot of announcements, a lot of awards, a lot of reveals. Some of them big, some of them not so big. I've got a collection here of some of the bigger ones. I'm not going to go over every single solitary announcement, and I'm not going to go over every single reward. But I am going to go over. I'm going to go over the major ones. Can we address, though, before we get into what was there, can we talk about what wasn't there? How weird is dude, I have no idea why they didn't reveal the new Smash Fighter at the Game Awards. There was hardly any Nintendo presence at all.
Yeah, there was like nothing.
There was a little bit. I mean, we had an announcement, a pretty major Nintendo announcement in the form of Bravely Default 2.
Yeah.
But, like, that was about it.
Yeah.
That was about it. There really was not much Nintendo representation there. I mean, they won a couple of awards also, which we'll get into, but, like, by and large, it was so strange because, like, Nintendo was, like, tweeting about it. Oh, be sure to tune into the Game Awards. I'm like, dollars to fucking donuts. I would have bet you $100 that they're going to announce a Smash Fighter at the Game Awards.
You were wrong, boy.
And nothing. It's crazy to me. So what this tells me, though, that January must have a Nintendo Direct. There must be an early 2020, probably in January, Nintendo Direct where they're like, yo, this is everything coming out in the early, like the first half of the year. This is the last fighter. Let's go. Like, we need that Get Hyped Direct. If they're not going to reveal at the Game Awards, there has to be a Direct incoming soon. And they usually do an early 2020, like an early year Direct anyway.
Yeah.
So we're kind of on track for that. It's normally in February, but I think February's too late at this point. I think they want to get that out in January. So we shall see. But not only was that not there, another thing that everybody was kind of expecting to be there was Batman.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So.
Like, where the fuck is it? Like, WB Montreal teased the shit out of it back in, like, September. And then we all sort of expected a State of Play announcement or something, a Comic-Con announcement. And then we're like, oh no, they're saving it for the Game Awards. No.
Nope.
Nothing. The fuck's going on? Just weird. It's like, if not here, then where? Like, I don't know where else you're going to reveal this shit.
Should I just shadow drop it, dude? Just be like...
Yeah, just shadow drop it. Batman's available now.
Wouldn't that be some crazy shit?
There's not a snowball's chance in hell that would happen. But let's go over some of the major announcements here. Let's just go through some of this. So, perhaps the biggest surprise announcement. This is something that I feel like I'm going to blaze through a lot of these, but there's some of them that I think have some meat on their bones that we could really sit and talk about for a second. And this is one of them. Maybe the biggest surprise announcement of the show happened actually near the start. And that, of course, was when Microsoft officially unveiled Project Scarlet as being the Xbox Series X.
Yep. And
they named it. They showed what the console looks like. They had like some weird trailer about powering your dreams and shit like that. And we got to see the console, and it looks... I don't know, I kind of like it, actually.
We talked about this off recording, I feel like it's going to be able to, like, it's not going to take up much space.
Yeah, I like that it's not going to have a large footprint on my entertainment center.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I kind of like that. They're really like leaning. It looks a lot like just like a tower.
It
like
just
a
straight up
desktop
looks
tower.
like a computer tower.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, shit.
And it has a large amount of like, it looks like basically the entire like top quadrant of it is just straight cooling.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the thing's going to run pretty quietly and run pretty cool. So it looks, I don't know. It just, I kind of dig it. Like, I kind of like that design. It's just literally just a monolithic black box.
An obelisk.
Yeah, just a fucking obelisk. You're right. Exactly. What do you make of the name?
It's whatever.
You kind of indifferent about it?
That's I think we talked about like why they're probably gonna do that, because this is gonna be the Series X, and there's gonna be like the Series Go Fuck Yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of am of the mind that the reason that they're going for this naming convention is that, I mean, they're gonna treat it like phones, where it's like, this is the Series X, and then later on you're gonna want to upgrade to the Series whatever. There's gonna be the Series S, I'm sure, which is gonna be that rumor, that Lionheart or whatever, the all digital like cheaper one, you know. So, I guess we'll have to wait and see what the full rollout of this is going to be, but it seems clear to me that that's why they're going for that naming convention. And I don't know, I still sort of like, if you remember, we were kind of like spitballing like what we thought it could be called, and I said Xbox Infinity. I sort of wish they'd gone for that. I don't know.
Would have been nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of getting used to that idea. Xbox Series X just seems so confusing, especially when you consider that it's going to still be on the market at the same time as the Xbox One X.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always apply this, like, because for those that don't know, I worked in video game retail for like 6 years. So I always apply, like, my video game retailer mind to these situations. There's going to be some little old grandma going into...
Looking for the Xbox.
Can I have the Xbox X?
Oh,
And she's not going to know what the fuck... There's like, which Xbox X are you looking for? And she's not going to know. She's going to end up buying the wrong shit.
What's the cheap one?
Exactly. She's going to go for the cheaper option, and she's going to buy the wrong shit. It's the same shit that happened with Nintendo when, like, oh, hey, the next console after Wii, what are you going to name it? Wii U.
Holy shit, yeah.
Bro, you know how many confused motherfuckers we had? Because they didn't even change the branding of it. Like, the font was the same and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the difference between the Wii and the Wii U? There's actually a huge difference. It's like the next generation of Nintendo's consoles. Well, why is it just called the Wii then? I don't know, sir. Because it's stupid. And I liked the Wii U, but goddamn, I don't know. You got to put some more, console publishers, console manufacturers. You got to put some more thought behind this shit. I'm just saying. Think about the common man. When's it gonna be our time? Just kidding. So, and this is something that obviously was exciting for us because the first game to be revealed for the Xbox Series X, we got a little teaser trailer for Senua's Saga Hellblade 2.
Let's fucking go!
A huge surprise.
Now, while watching the trailer, before, they get up to her, like, face and shit, in my mind, I'm, like, watching, like, this, like, fucking, like, Vista type shit, like, this fucking aerial shot. I'm like, I don't know why, but in my soul, I knew. But
yeah.
it was like, I questioned, I'm like, is this? It could be. Is it?
I sort of felt that way too. It just sort of looked like Hellblade.
Yeah, I was like, but it's like, it can't be. But is it?
Then we had all that weird like throat singing, or whatever the fuck,
No, I fucking dug it though. Fuck you, I dug this shit out.
And they made a point to say that was all in-engine footage, and I tend to believe them because if that is something that can be said about Ninja Theory, they make some gorgeous games.
Oh yeah,
absolutely gorgeous games. So
that's a day one purchase for me. Now.
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh shit, I fucking love Hellblade.
So what a big surprise though. I think I was completely comfortable and even confident that Hellblade was not going to get a sequel ever.
And here's my thing. I will say this, and this right there was the highlight of the Game Awards for me, and it's downward from here. No, I'm just playing.
So the title is interesting. Again, going back to the title, Senua's Saga.
Yeah.
Does that imply? Because we loved Hellblade, but Hellblade was kind of short. That game's 5-6 hours.
I feel
long.
like this is. I feel like they're gonna flush it out more. I feel like this is gonna be a way bigger game.
I'm like looking at that. I'm like, when I hear Senua's Saga, this makes me think that it's gonna be like a fucking like God of War epic.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Well, I feel like they're gonna. I feel like they're gonna take what they did with Hellblade and just fucking go ape shit.
Now, the game that I think I came away from the Game Awards most interested in, this one made my ears perk up, even though we didn't really see much of it, was this game called Godfall.
Yeah, it caught my eye. Definitely caught my eye. Yeah.
Definitely made my ears perk up. I think the art looks fairly interesting, but I like what the developers are saying.
You know what it fucking reminded me of, the art?
What?
That dog shit ass movie.
What movie?
What is it? What movie is it? It's it's the movie with the Egyptian gods.
Oh God.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You don't know, the one that got shit for being white, like getting whitewashed.
Yeah. What was the fucking movie called? I don't remember, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. But this thing it's
their god forms remind me of that shit.
I can see it. But this game is being published by Gearbox, and this is the first game where in the trailer it straight up name drops the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
So this is coming to PlayStation 5.
Was everybody supposed to like lose their shit over? What?
Well, from everything they've said, it actually seems like it's coming to the PlayStation 5 exclusively.
I'm down.
So they described the game the developers did as a looter slasher. So, and it's got like up to 4-player drop-in, drop-out co-op, which is of course right in Gearbox's wheelhouse.
It's right in my fucking wheel.
They were going a little bit deeper in on the, like, people were asking kind of what the gameplay's about. We've seen a few little snippets of gameplay, and they compared it a lot to Monster Hunter in terms of the combat and in terms of like just the sort of like gameplay loop. It seems like it's very loot heavy and it's all about like constantly upgrading your stuff. So definitely, ears are definitely perked up on that one. We will definitely keep a close eye on that coming to PS5. So Godfall, kind of a weird, dumb name, but hey, game sounds fun. So I talked about this earlier. It is a big deal for Nintendo JRPG fans that a new Bravely Default game is coming to the Switch next year. I've never played Bravely Default. I've heard great things. It's one of those things where it's a JRPG and I just don't have hundreds of hours laying around for JRPGs by and large. So I say that, but then you look at my Pokemon time.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Another weird thing about this one is it's called Bravely Default 2, even though it's technically the third game in the series.
What?
There's already a second Bravely Default game. It was called Bravely Second. And now there's Bravely Default 2, which is actually Bravely Default 2, but it's actually the third game? I don't know. That's weird. But that's a thing that's happening. It's coming next year. People are excited about it. And I want to give it its time in the limelight because there are people who are very into those games. This one perked up my ears as well, Todd. The co-creators of Dishonored and Prey have founded a new studio called Wolf-Eye Studios.
Oh, yeah.
And their new game, Weird West, was revealed. What'd you think of this one?
Yeah.
I mean, the trailer didn't really show much, but it sort of looks like it's like this isometric top-down Diablo-style RPG.
Yeah.
But it's in the Wild West, but it's got this kind of like supernatural horror kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be interesting.
I'd have to see more before I gave a shit.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to see more. No release date was given, so God only knows when this thing's coming out, but I don't know. I'm into the conceit. On paper, it sounds cool. Multiple League of Legends spin-off games are in development. One of them being a kind of time-traveling platformer called Convergence, but the one I really want to talk about is a more interesting one. It's a turn-based RPG called Ruined King, a League of Legends story. And normally I wouldn't give a shit, but it is being developed by Joe Madureira's Airship Syndicate. Joe Mad, of course, being the guy behind Darksiders, and Airship Syndicate being the ones behind both Darksiders Genesis that is coming out, and they also developed Battle Chasers Night War. So that's a good team over there, and they're handling this League of Legends game, so that might be something to keep an eye on. Not that we give a shit about like the lore of League of Legends, but the game might be fun. If nothing else, the art will be good. That good Joe Mad art.
That'll be the only thing good.
So it was funny too. Did you notice? Anastasia kept pointing this out. She's like, I swear to fucking God, if I see another Magic related announcement, like Magic the Gathering.
Holy.
She's like, Jesus Christ, there's like 5 different Magic games. At one point, Travis kind of joined us, my little brother Travis. Fucking Trav joined us for like 30 minutes maybe. And Anastasia's like, they've announced 3 Magic games just since Trav's been out here. And she wasn't wrong. It was like every 2 seconds there was something happening with Magic the Gathering. It was like, fuck. That game is alive and well.
Definitely is. That's
for sure. Did you see this trailer for this game? This game is simply called Dark Alliance. It's supposed to be a D&D game. Did you see it?
I feel like I did. Yeah.
It was this weirdly, like, really kind of bad 90s trailer where it had that, like, focused, like, steady cam on their face.
Yeah.
It just looks so weird and kind of gross and awful. And it's said to be a spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Mm-hmm. But I was like, God, I don't know. Nothing about that trailer appealed to me, but there's some people who loved it. That's not the kind of 90s that I crave. Personally. I don't need the bad 90s. I want the good 90s. So we got a little teaser. Maybe you know more about this than I do. This new Player Unknown game called Prologue.
Oh.
You know anything about that?
No, I don't.
You're a little more in tune with like the PC culture than I am, so I was curious if you...
I've been pretty fucking blind on the PC culture for a while.
It's something... I mean, I'll say this. The teaser trailer was very clear. It was gameplay, whatever it was. And it looked gorgeous. It was like in a forest, but I really don't know anything about it beyond that. It's just called Prologue. So that looked interesting. We got a new trailer for Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That's finally coming on March 11th because, we needed more games in March. And to that end, Control got some free DLC that Shadow dropped during the show.
Very nice.
And it was kind of what everybody was wanting. It was, when you finish Fallen Order and you're like, damn.
I feel like I should honestly go play that game.
It's really good, bro.
That's like right up my fucking alley. I don't know why the fuck I passed on
I
it.
think you really would like it, and you could probably find it for pretty cheap now.
Well, here's the thing. Is like, dude, I enjoy every single game they've made.
The gameplay is so fun. Like, it has problems, but the gameplay is so fun.
That's honestly what I might do, because I'm kind of like going to be calming down on Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Might just fucking pick it up.
You would, the gameplay-wise, you would absolutely love that game. You really would. And so the combat of that game is really excellent, and that's what this Shadow dropped DLC was. It's like, hey, it's a randomly generated like combat arena sort of scenario.
Oh, nice.
It's the kind of thing that you wish they had for Fallen Order, basically.
I'll be honest, if they had a fucking like arena mode in Fallen Order, I'd still be playing Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I don't give a shit. Just give me that, and just give me that fucking song on fucking loop.
That throat singer song.
It's good. I think it's like Black Thunder.
Yeah.
I think the name of it is, yeah.
So when your game has a really good, satisfying combat loop like Controls and like Fallen... Maybe those 2 games are probably the best combat I played all year. And it's
yeah.
And it's like, when you have really good combat, give me a space where I can just play with that combat. So yeah, if you do play Control, you would really love it. The first expansion was also kind of like shown a little bit. It's called The Foundation, and that is coming March 26th. So Control actually got a little bit of a spotlight at the Game Awards, and we'll talk about that when we get to the awards section. This is something that I wanted to stop and talk about because I know that you and I are very hyped on this game. We finally got to see the rest of that Ghost of Tsushima trailer. I know you're amped on this.
Oh, I want that fucking game, dude.
It looks so good.
I need it, dude.
It looks so good.
It's still just I still like left disappointed with. I just want a concrete release date.
I didn't think we were going to get a concrete one. As a matter of fact, I'm actually surprised it's coming out as early as it is.
Oh, well, yeah.
The summer 2020 release date, I actually sort of suspected that it was going to get bumped to fall.
Dude, I feel like that's too close to like the actual like drop of like next gen shit.
Well, it is, but I sort of thought that it was just going to be like, all right,
going to be the last hurrah.
I think it still probably is going to be the last.
It's still probably it's funny as I'm watching. That's actually what I said to myself as I was watching the trailer. I'm like, well, this probably be my last hurrah on like PS4.
I mean, look, we're going to have a really great final year for PS4 between Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima. Like, these games are going to be knockout motherfucking games, dude.
Yeah.
So, 2020 is going to be a great year to be a PlayStation fan. Can't wait. That trailer was awesome. I loved the little snippets of gameplay that we did get.
Yeah.
The game looks so fun. You know what's interesting about it to me? Because it would be easy to look at this game and say, like, oh, it looks kind of like Tenchu or Nioh or Sekiro or something like that, but it really doesn't.
No, it looks like it's going to be its own thing.
And you can even see a little bit of that Sucker Punch DNA in it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. Like, when I look at that game, I can see it, and I can see the bones of Sly Cooper and Infamous in it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, no, definitely.
I don't know. I'm really, really excited about that game. Can't wait. Last bit of news here before we get into some of these award winners from the Game Awards. So this was weird. It seems like The Wolf Among Us Season 2 is going to happen after all. Yeah. So they're doing it with a new studio called Ad Hoc Studios. This is a new studio that has been formed by several ex-Telltale employees that are going to be handling The Wolf Among Us Season 2. What do you make of that?
I mean, all right then.
Did you play The Wolf Among Us?
I did, yeah.
I really, really liked that first season. Like, I thought it was really good. It's honestly one of my favorite Telltale games. But I don't know how I feel about this.
Because apparently it's going to be restarted with a new engine.
Yeah, I'm sort of like... I sort of felt like I already said my goodbyes to it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, it just feels... It feels weird. Can I get a little hashtag real talk with you for a second?
Go ahead.
So this is going to be a complete tonal 180, but I want to say this because it represents the most accurately how I'm feeling about this announcement. After our Papaw died in 2009, I kept having a recurring dream/nightmare for about a year after he died. I kept having this recurring dream that, like, I would go visit them and he would just be there. Mm-hmm. Like, he was still there, and everybody just acted like he didn't die. Mm-hmm. Like, I knew that he was dead and that he shouldn't be there, but everybody else was acting like he didn't. Mm-hmm. You know? It was weird. And it was a weird recurring dream that I kept having. It was horrific. I would, like, wake up in a cold sweat and shit. That's sort of how I feel about this. I'm like...
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but fuck.
I'm like, I know that the Wolf Among Us is dead. How come you guys don't know that?
It's like it's more like I know Telltale is dead. Like, stop trying to make it a thing anymore. Like, fuck.
I know that was kind of a weird, sobering, real life like allegory, but that's the best way I can describe how I feel about it.
It worked. It worked. I respect it.
I'm like, I know that this game is dead. How come you guys don't know that? You guys are acting like you don't know that. I don't know. It's weird. I have a weird feeling about this. I don't know if I care. I don't know if I'm interested. I already said my goodbyes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, I already kind of made peace with the fact that I'm never going to know what happens after that cliffhanger from Tales of the Borderlands.
Oh, God, what a fucking cliffhanger that is.
Anyway. Let's cover some of these awards that were given out. Again, I'm not going to go over all of them. You can see the full list on their website if you are interested. I just want to cover kind of some of the main ones. There are a lot here, which is why the show went on for 10 million years.
There's a lot of just like random ones too.
Yeah, so I just want to go over just real quick some of these significant ones. We can stop and talk about some of them if you want, but just I'm going to mostly rapid fire a lot of this. Best action game, Devil May Cry 5.
I called that.
Did you?
Out of the nominees, I called that. I was like, it's gotta be Devil May Cry.
Yeah, thought that was interesting. Interesting.
I'm trying to think of the other nominees. Like none of them popped out to me other than Devil May Cry.
Yeah. You know what though? This was an interesting one. Best action adventure game was Sekiro.
Yeah.
So and you know obviously we know that game got some love later on, which we'll touch on.
Mm-hmm.
Best art direction, Control, which was interesting.
Do you agree with that or no?
Not the category that I would have given Control the award for, but I'm glad that Control got an award.
Yeah. It's one of those, like, okay.
Like, that's not... When I played Control, I wasn't looking at it. I mean, the art of Control is really cool and interesting, but I didn't look at that and say, like, oh, yeah, best art direction, it's gotta be Control.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm just happy those dudes won an award because Control did not get a fair shake. That's a really good game that really deserved more attention than it got, and I'm kind of hoping that the Game Awards is going to shed a little more light on that game, and I really hope people give it another chance. Because that game is really good. I really want to go back and finish it. I put a ton of time into it, I just haven't finished it. Best audio design, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I was going to ask you about this. You being the Call of Duty player.
Yeah.
Solid choice?
Yeah.
Good audio design there?
Definitely.
All right.
I didn't have no problem with that. I was like, yeah, shit.
Best family game, Luigi's Mansion 3. So that's cool that it won an award. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I guess you could kind of consider it a family game. You can play co-op. It's not too scary. Best fighting game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
That was obvious to me.
You're goddamn right.
Dude, that was like so obvious to me.
Goddamn right it is. So this is a game that cleaned up at the awards this year. Fresh Indie Game Award went to Disco Elysium. I've heard a lot about this game, and it ended up winning like 3 or 4 awards. So yeah, that game apparently is really good. When that comes to console, I'll probably check that game out. Best game direction, Death Stranding. I was actually surprised that Death Stranding was not more of a Death Stranding wank fest, you know? I was expecting a lot more just Death Stranding all over the place.
I think that just goes to show you really wanted there to be more like a Death Stranding a wank fest.
I just expected it. I expected it.
I don't know. I feel like with the weird like way like the people like again when people were like reviewing that game, it's like people didn't know what really to say about it, you know?
Game's on sale on Amazon for $35 physically, and I'd be lying if I said.
Bitch, I've thought about it. Like you shit. I don't even like buying games physical, but I've thought about it.
That's just a good price. Anyway, Games for Impact, Grease, which is a cool little indie game. It was cool to see that game win some awards. That game's pretty cheap too and short on Switch. I recommend it. Best independent game, again, Disco Elysium. Best multiplayer game, Apex Legends. Cool to see them win an award for that. Mm-hmm. It was funny because Call of Duty was up for the award too, and Anastasia was like, ugh, it's going to be Call of Duty, but it should be Apex, and then Apex won.
Yep.
So that was cool.
I think Apex deserves it.
Absolutely. It's hard to... When you think back to Apex, and I think I've said this before on the show, like, that game came out this year, guys.
Yeah.
That game is not that old.
Mm-hmm.
That game's like 8 months old. So keep that in mind. They've done a lot in 8 months. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot. Best narrative, Disco Elysium. Best performance, Mads Mikkelsen, Death Stranding.
My boy.
Hannibal.
Great show. Don't give a fuck.
Best role-playing game, Disco Elysium. It's like, fuck. This game must be magnificent. I was surprised that this award didn't go to like Outer Worlds.
I don't think the Outer Worlds won anything, right?
I don't think so.
I was hoping it would win something, but yeah.
Best score and music, Death Stranding. So, a little Death Stranding love. Best sports/racing game, CTR, Crash Team Racing. That was another one where Anastasia was like, Crash should win, and then Crash did win.
Just
Basically, anytime she said that, the thing that she thought wasn't going to win would win.
That's good.
Best strategy game, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. So again, a little more Nintendo love. That's a game where I'm like, if I ever see that on sale, I'll pick it up. I do like Fire Emblem, but that's another time sink. Best VR/AR game, Beat Saber. And then finally, Game of the Year. This was a huge shock to me, Todd. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of thought that, honestly, I'm gonna be real, and I don't want to discredit this game. But when I saw that this game was one of the nominees, I thought it was a little bit of a throwaway. In no reality did I think that Game of the Year would go to Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I didn't think it deserved it or whatever, but I just didn't think that was in the cards for that game. Like, these games don't typically win Game of the Year, these sort of like Soulsborne games.
Yeah.
And for Sekiro to come out and win Game of the Year is impressive. I mean, your relationship with that game is storied, but you gotta admit, pretty goddamn impressive. Listen to the other winners, the other nominees for that award. It was up against Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Smash Ultimate, and The Outer Worlds. And then Sekiro wins out of all of those? Just shocked.
I mean, I know what I'd give it to on that list.
I'd give it to Smash, personally. And then The Outer Worlds would be a close second.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the Game Awards, though, Todd. Were you disappointed that Sekiro won Game of the Year?
I honestly don't really... I'm indifferent to it.
Did you feel like your opinion was suddenly made invalid? No, I'm just kidding.
No, because my opinion is not invalid.
Your opinion is the only one that matters. Is that correct?
Yes.
Todd, that's all I've got for the news this week. That's the majority of what I've got. So that's about it. I think it's probably time to end the show with a little Christmas cheer. I've got my gifts that you've lovingly packaged for me. I'm assuming that you did not wrap these.
God bless, you know it.
I, too, was not the one to wrap yours.
I ain't wrapping shit.
I'm such a horrible present wrapper, dude. Have you ever attempted to wrap a present?
I have. I'm not good at it.
I suck at it. I'm, hilariously bad at it.
It's like, I don't know why I'm so bad at it.
There's no fucking reason I should be so bad at wrapping presents. It makes no sense, but I suck at it. So anyway, yeah, my wife wrapped all of those. So, holiday gift exchange. This is the second time we've done this. So, parameters. Todd and I don't know, this was kind of fun last year, so we decided to do it again. We gave each other a $50 budget. We both exceeded the budget.
I didn't do by too much.
We did not go too far over, but I think that sort of happened last year too, where we definitely both went a little bit over. So, yeah, I think we actually even ended up having the same amount of gifts this year. I think you've got 4, right?
Shit. Think so.
You've got 4 and I've got 4, I believe. So, yeah, why don't you start us off? Why don't you give us some of that good ASMR? Tear into one of them, sir.
All right, let's go.
Let's get some Merry Christmas up in this bitch.
I see a styrofoam. Thank you. No.
Oh, okay, so you're opening the styrofoam cube first, eh?
Well, it was the one I was so curious about. Oh, shit, I need a knife for
You may need a blade of some sort, yeah.
Where's my box cutter? There it is.
I'm so excited for you to open this. God, you're... Let me lean back and just wait for this reaction. Oh, the anticipation is killing me.
What is this shit? What the fuck is... God. Oh, it's good. I love it.
Now I know you don't drink hot drinks, but you can drink cold drinks in it.
Yeah, that's I respect this. So yeah, this is a mug with just Brendan Fraser all over it.
It is covered in Brendan Fraser's face.
What the fuck?
Yep. That had to happen.
That caught me off guard. Dude, as soon as I like pop it open a little bit, I'm seeing faces. I didn't recognize it like, when I first opened it.
Yes. All right. Let me see here. Let me go. You know what? There are two smaller ones. I'm gonna get them done first here. So let's see. See what we've got here. Already, these are better wrapped than I could ever do. Just saying. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we've got a jiggy pin from Banjo-Kazooie. Man, it's pretty. It's got the gold is so shiny. Oh hell yeah! This is going straight on my bag.
Mm-hmm.
You will definitely see this on my bag at PAX. Fuck yeah, dude! It's oof. I need to touch it. I need to soil it.
Dear Lord.
Let me mute the mic real quick. I'm just kidding.
Then this next one, I already know what it is.
Oh yeah?
I know what it is because here's the deal. You told me not to buy it.
That's true. Yeah, so Todd was like looking on Fangamer and he's like, "Oh hey, there's this really cool shirt." I'm like, Todd, don't buy that." Todd, don't buy
Oh,
that.
I love it. So good. Oh, fuck, that's a cool sticker.
Yeah, I kept the sticker in there.
That is a cool fucking sticker. That's going on my fucking PC.
So it was a Bloodborne shirt.
Yeah, it is a Bloodborne shirt, and it is... Oh, it's so fucking good.
Oh yeah.
Shit, you're probably gonna see me wearing this.
Gotta get the gaming clothing, the gaming attire
dude,
ready.
it's so fucking good. I've been wanting a new Bloodborne shirt, and this is good.
All right, so similarly packaged here. I'm assuming it's another pin, which is going to be good because, again, I need more pins for my bag. So, yep, and it is. And it is. Hell yeah. It is the dynamic duo. It's the Bear and Bird themselves. Banjo and Kazooie. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, dude, this is going to be... I'm going to have them both side by side on my bag.
There you go.
God bless. Oh, yes, that makes me happy. You know the way to my heart is with Banjo-Kazooie, Todd.
Oh, please, I already know. So I'm assuming this next one is going to be a pin of some sort.
Okay.
Let me see.
You might be correct.
Wow. Oh, shit. I didn't expect you to get me a fucking Berserk one.
So I was waiting on that to come in for fucking ever.
I love it because God damn. That's great.
I was waiting on that pin to come in.
It's funny. This is like when you look at this, you realize how fucking much like Dark Souls and Bloodborne and shit is like
influenced. Yeah.
Holy shit, dude! This mark is like just you basically cut out some like pieces of this, and it's the hunter's mark.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, hell,
So
you
good.
even had like you basically had like an idea of like if you were to ever get a tattoo, basically.
Yeah.
Whereas like a combination of the different symbols, they're so similar.
Yeah, dude. It's so similar. Love that. That's great.
So this package is soft.
Oh.
And
That
it makes me think of a t-shirt. I believe this is a t-shirt. And it is a t-shirt. Ooh. Well, is this... Which one is this? Oh, it's the Katamari shirt. Oh, ooh, I love the sticker it comes with. It's got the King of All Cosmos on it, and it's nice and shiny. Oh yeah, you're gonna see me in this. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be worn at PAX.
Well, I'm definitely ending it with this big old package.
You were ending it with that is the one. That's a bit of a special one.
Okay.
That one, yeah, that was what pushed me over the budget a little bit, but I knew I had to get it.
Shit. Oh God, I gotta.
There are many layers.
Let me get my blade out again.
I needed to make sure it was well packaged. It's something that is precious.
Oh yeah, this thing's got definitely some layers to it.
Mm-hmm. It also requires a blood sacrifice to open the box properly. So that is a Blackwood dice box / dice tray.
I love this.
So you can set that on your desk and not worry about dropping your dice on the floor.
I kind of, as soon as I opened, I was like, yeah, okay, that's funny. I love it. That's good. How much was this, dude?
I can't tell you that. So no, it wasn't too bad, but it did push me over budget a little bit.
That's very nice.
It was worth it. I was like, you know what? Like, I definitely, I was like, for the sake of Waterdeep alone. Yeah, you can hold your dice in there. It has a space for you to hold like a pen or pencil in there.
Yeah, awesome.
The top portion of it is a dice tray, so you can just roll your dice straight onto that.
Awesome.
So the sound of your nice metal dice hitting the wood.
This is gonna be some ASMR shit when we do some Waterdeep.
It should sound real nice.
All right.
So
awesome.
I've got one last package here, and it has a heft to it, and
Does it?
Seems to be book shaped. Seems to be book feeling. Indeed, it comes in many layers as well. Hell, this may require the use of a blade. I don't know.
Here's the thing. It probably does because I don't think I took it out of anything. I left it in its whole packaging.
I got it. I was able to open it. Oh shit. Oh wow. Ooh, this is pretty. This is a huge hardcover. Wow, I gotta like open this and actually just look. A big hardcover Art of Dead Cells art book.
Yeah.
And,
I think it's even a little more in depth than that. Like it's just not like it's kind of like
So it actually, I'm actually just kind of even just flipping through it right now. I can tell that it's a lot more. It's not just a simple art book. It actually is going into like the development of it. It's called it's called The Heart of Dead Cells: A Visual Making of.
Yep. Wow.
This is really cool. I like this a lot. This is gonna look gorgeous on my shelf, for sure. And the Art of Dead Cells is gorgeous. And
again, I know you like art books and shit. So
I love art books. I have a burgeoning art book collection. Well, Todd, thank you so much. Merry Christmas.
I'm still laughing about this goddamn Brendan Fraser.
I knew you'd appreciate that.
That's so good.
It even has like one of those like built-in bookmarks, like where it's like a little piece of like fabric. You know,
oh, that's nice.
It's cool. It's kind of like it's like classy. It's like weirdly classy. Well, shit. Awesome. I think that's another successful.
Yep.
Successful Nerd Bourbon gift exchange. Thank you very much, sir. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
So hell yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like sitting here. I'm like, I want to look through this book right now. Yeah. So shit. Now that we're full of holiday cheer, folks, I think it's a good time to wrap it up. Unless you want to add something else.
I think that's about it, man.
We hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. We will talk to you all next week when we go over our favorite games of the year and our most anticipated of next year. So, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for sticking through this bullshit for another one. We'll catch you next time. Get fucking dunked on. Bye.
See ya.
Hey there, thanks for checking out another fantastic Nerd Bourbon video. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, be sure to go ahead and subscribe, leave us a like, drop us a nice comment, or I guess a mean one if that's if that's your prerogative. But until next time, get dunked on.